Okay, so I know that when you're in international business, you're not really thinking about grammar all the time, but in fact grammar and the grammar we use is extremely important in the accuracy of our communication in international business. As we said yesterday, we want to mean what we say and say what we mean. So I know that these tenses are pretty basic for you, but we're going to go take a look at them and see how we can use them so that we are truly expressing what we want to say. Simple present tense, quick review. I know you all know this. Base form of the verb, with the exception of the third person singular, which is he, she, or it, adds an S or an ES. The S or the ES depends on spelling, doesn't change the meaning, can sometimes change the pronunciation. You remember we went over this yesterday. And then in contrast, the present progressive tense is the verb to be, conjugated in the present, I am, you are, he, she, or it is, we are, they are, okay, plus the base form of the verb plus ing. That's called the progressive form. And as we went over yesterday, again to review, simple present tense is used for regular and routine actions. Things that happen all the time, things that happen on a predictable, regular basis, things that happen every day, describing the state of being of something. In contrast, the present progressive is used for something right now. Okay, so for example, I could say, I am an American. I work here at LCI. I am wearing a red and black dress, right? Okay. Any questions? Okay, so what I'd like to add to this then is the implication of using these verb tenses. When we use the simple present tense, what we're communicating is that this action, this situation, what we're discussing, is not going to change. In our mind, in our perception, in our prediction, it is not going to change. It is an action that we see as permanent as you can see anything. When we use the present progressive, we are communicating to the listener that you see this as an action, a state of being that will be changing sometime in the future. Whether the future is tomorrow, next week, 5 years from now, you are communicating a sense of temporariness about this. Whereas for using the simple present tense, we're communicating a sense of permanence. Now, how could this be important in business? For example, if you're at a job interview and someone says to you, where do you live? If you say, well, I'm living in Rio de Janeiro, what kind of feeling do you get from that? Well, if I'm listening to that, I might say, oh, well, he's planning to move. He's not going to stay here. Would I want to hire him if he has plans to move on? In contrast, if someone says to you, what are your sales for this product? And you answer, we're selling 500 units a year. What I hear is, wow, they're going to be changing that? Is that permanent? Is that, if I want to indicate that we are going to improve, I would say we're selling 500 units a year now, but we see projected growth over 5 years. That would fit in perfectly. On the other hand, if I want to say, to let them know that we're a growth company, and I simply say, we sell 500 units a year, then I think, well, that's very static, that they're not planning to grow or to move with that at all. So again, we're communicating that this is something that is, as far as we see, is not going to change, and this is something that will be changing at some time in the future. So without using time markers or expanding, we're communicating the difference in how we perceive these events with the verb tense we choose. So what I'd like you to do now is read that brief case study in front of you. Based on the information in it, write 2 sentences in the simple present tense about that company and their current situation, 2 sentences in the present progressive tense about the company and the situation that communicate the permanence or the temporariness of this situation. And then we'll compare them when you're finished writing. Okay, go.